All right, happy Friday. How's it going, guys? I hope everybody's good. Here in the cold state of Michigan, just got off the lawnmower and it was freezing, but it's all good though. Trump came to Michigan today again. How was that, guys? He was in Lansing the other day. It was 37 degrees and raining, and thought I'd keep this sign here to show you guys. It got wet, it got tattered, but yes, I am going to talk about how I do want 4 more years of President Donald Trump today. You know what? Some of you guys aren't going to like that, and that's fine. If we can disagree politically and still be friends, that's cool. But if we can't, sorry, guys, I'm not going to back down on who I am. And yes, I enjoy doing gun reviews, and when I do, that's really me, and that really is what I think about the firearms, and they're honest reviews. And I also support Trump for president in 2020. And you know what I've learned? I've learned that this cancel culture is very pervasive. And some of you all tonight, I don't want you to, but if you feel like you need to, that's fine. I understand. Are going to try to cancel me and say because I support the president. Now, is he perfect? No. Can we name things terrible about him? Of course. But at the same time, we're never going to have perfect in life. I'm not going to be the perfect show host, and I'm pretty sure you're probably not perfect either. But at the same time, when I saw Biden, the Harris-Biden administration promising us how dark of a winter it was going to be, how they're going to want us to wear masks in 2020, 2021, 2022, and lose our whole identity as a nation and as the United States of America. And last Friday, I went over their comprehensive gun control plan that basically wants to ban it all. Buy it back, they call it. Ammunition, the guns themselves, even down to little gun parts. And for all of you hunters out there, look, I'm a hunter too, but you won't even be able to buy a firing pin for your double-barrel shotgun if the Harris-Biden administration gets elected. So with that said, with 4 days to go before certainly the biggest election of my lifetime and probably yours too, now's not the time to back down, and I'm not gonna. And I've learned one more thing, going back to the cancel culture thing, and it's sad. It's sad that so many people are falling victim to it, but here's what happens. People will come in, just like when I streamed that I was at the Trump rally the other day, and I showed all of the lines of people, the crowds, showing how peaceful it was, showing how there's so many more people there. And there was so much more support there than the mainstream news. I call it fake news, or even better yet, the very fake news. Trump has it right on that, guys. This is fake news. They won't show you all of that. So, at the expense of me not being able to get into the rally, I decided to show you guys the lines outside. You know what? I got a lot of hate for that. Lost quite a few subs for that, but that's okay, because I just came on here a couple of years ago when I started this channel just to hang out with you guys. And that's why I'm still here. I'm not a numbers guy. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a scientist. Just a regular guy. Look, I do lawn service and landscaping and cut grass for a living and hang out with you guys in my spare time. And I consider many of you friends, and this is what I look forward to do. But I don't get caught up in the numbers, and I never will. So people think they want to teach me things, and that's fine. I appreciate your efforts, but you're not gonna. I support the president of the United States for 4 more years, and I gave you a bunch of reasons why last week, and I'll continue to do so this year. And I'm not going to be canceled by people that call themselves my friends, because it's kind of a low blow, isn't it, if you think about it? When people come into the comments, hey man, I really liked you. I really liked your Taurus G3C review, but you're talking politics now, and now I hate you. Well, that's fine. You can hate me if you want, but did you really ever like me? Because I was the same person in that review as I am now. And here's what happens. So many people go out there and they say, I'm going to stand for something. And I've stood for gun rights. I've stood for the United States of America and our liberty and our rights that are endowed by our Creator and are not given to us by Donald Trump. They weren't even given to us by Madison or Jefferson, not even George Washington, not even the late, great Abraham Lincoln. No, they were given to us by our Creator, and these are natural rights. And I've always stood for those from day one, and I'm still going to. But when you apologize for what you really believe in, you know what happens? The people that tried to force you to apologize, this is called the cancel culture. This is called the mob, right? Some people call it democracy, right? Democracy, yeah. 2 wolves and 1 sheep voting over what's for dinner. And the unruly mob tries to get people to back off their principles. And then you know what happens? I've seen this happen so many times. It happens every day lately, and it's just sickening. And it's really sad is what it really is. But I'm wise to it. I know their games. So, look, I'm not going to apologize for who I'm voting for. I'm not going to apologize for going to rallies. And I'm not really going to apologize to you guys for anything unless I've done something wrong to you. And I would encourage you guys to do the same thing, because they'll cancel people and they'll get people to back off stuff they really mean. And then you know what happens? The people who really had their back, that were really their true friends, they get ticked off because they're like, dude, I thought you stood for something. Why not? And then the ones that they were acquiescing to, they go, ha ha, gotcha. Now you're done. And now they leave. So look, you guys have been around long enough. Some of you may be new to the channel, but I'm not new to this channel. And I hate to have to remind people of that, but I've always been this way. I've always stood for what I believe in, and I'm going to continue to do that. So yeah, there's an election coming up. And I'm sure you guys already know that. And some people are tired about politics, sure. But you know what? The election's coming up in 4 days. And in 4 days, we're going to decide whether we have a president who's far from perfect, of course. Like, you guys don't even need to tell me that. You can if you want to. Leave whatever comments you want in the chat. I like them all, but of course Trump's not perfect. Am I pissed off at bump stocks? Yes, of course. But at the same time, if you look at the Harris-Biden administration's plan, this is the most comprehensive. This is the most draconian plan that there's ever been. We have a crisis right now on the brink of happening in this country, to where they want to completely shred the Second Amendment. Now people say, but hold on a minute. And this is what the argument was by so many people. And it was a fine argument. They said, we need to get behind Trump. This was back in 2016, right? Because he's going to have at least 1 or 2 Supreme Court justices. Well, he didn't have 1 or 2. He had 3. And Amy Coney Barrett has just been voted on, approved. She's now an associate justice of the United States Supreme Court. And who knows how they'll vote in the end. A lot of times they betray us. I get all this. But as of right now, we probably have a pro-Second Amendment court in the Supreme Court, which is awesome. That's totally awesome. Like, we need to take a victory when we get one, right? Like, don't run away when you finally win. You know what I'm saying? But then I hear the Harris-Biden administration, and they're talking about how they want to pack the courts. Now, Joe won't answer the question. He says, you'll find out after you elect me. That reminds me of Pelosi. Remember that with Obamacare? You have to pass the bill before we'll tell you what's in it. That's what he's saying. Pelosi's talking about packing the court. Currently, Minority Leader, and I hope it stays Minority Leader Schumer, is talking about packing the court in the Senate. They could wipe out Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, and Barrett within some votes, procedural votes, ending the filibuster, packing the court with 4, 5, 6, 10, 20. I mean, the Constitution doesn't say how many justices. They could pack it full, as many as they want, presumably. Then they'll make Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C. states and get 4 more. No doubt, very liberal and most definitely anti-gun senators in the United States Senate, which puts us in a position where there'll probably never be a Republican-led Senate again, or at least not for many, many generations. And by then, gun rights will have been gone so long that no one will even remember what they were enough to try to fight back. And they'll put a bunch of judicial activists, that's what they call them. People, they call them progressives. They call them many things. Judicial activists, people that want to legislate from the bench. Even though when the Supreme Court was put in at the founding of this country, it's very clear it was supposed to be a less powerful branch of the government. And they'll argue that if they're in the minority, but trust me, if they pack the court and get 4 more liberal Democrat senators in, we're in big trouble. Imagine that. because he's not really running for president, guys. Biden, he doesn't know where he is. Where's Biden? He walks up and he says, where am I? What city am I in? I'm Joe Biden, and I'm running for the United States Senate, he says. He got the president confused for Abe Lincoln in the last debate. And just the other day, he thought he was running against George. George who? Was it George Bush or was it George Washington? Well, we don't know. He doesn't know where he's at, guys. And on a certain respect, that's sad, but I don't really have too much time to feel sorry for him because he's running for president when we all know that Speaker Pelosi was running exercises on the 25th Amendment just recently. Now, she pretended with a wink that it was for Trump, but we know that's not the case because the vice president has to actually evoke the 25th Amendment to say that the person that they're serving under is not fit for office. And it's pretty clear to me that they're actually doing a test run of the 25th Amendment to see how it would work when Vice President Kamala Harris makes her bid to become the president. Again, I'm just giving my opinion like everybody does, but that's what it seems to me, right? Seriously, where am I? Who am I? What's going on? I'm running for Senate. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Look, guys, it's sad. I don't think he ever did have a fastball. I really don't. But at this point, the dude's hitting off of a tee. Which puts us at Kamala Harris. This is a fact, a proven fact. And when she was called out on it in a recent interview, she just sat and laughed. And she cackled at it with disdain, right? They said, you are the most liberal senator in the United States Senate, and your voting record proves it. And she just laughed and she just cackled at it. There's a chance she could become the next president of the United States with the Supreme Court packed, 4 more Democrat senators. No more filibuster. Now, does this stuff sound too far-fetched then? The Biden plan to end our gun violence epidemic, because a lot of you guys think this sounds like it's far-fetched and under current rule of law. It might be. But if you take everything into account I just talked about, does it scare you a little bit? Yeah, it scares me enough where I'm going to make sure I go out and vote Tuesday in person because I believe there's going to be a lot of rigging and a lot of cheating, and I think the best chances my vote's going to count is to put that ballot in the machine myself. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to cast my ballot for Donald Trump. So there's a lot at stake here with this election. Some people are going to hate my opinion, but that's fine because I'm not apologizing for it. And I'm going to do my best I can to bring a lot of these issues to everyone's attention and just to give you guys some encouragement that you don't have to be ashamed of who you're voting for and what you're going to do. So I do mean this just to offer encouragement to everybody. Super chat from Mike Brown. Thank you very much. He said, oops, missed the beginning of the stream. I was playing with my Michigan Ford short sword. Nice. Going to work tomorrow. Gonna practice at the range after. Respect to those self-employed. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And I am self-employed, which people think offhand it means that you got all the time in the world. It's actually the exact opposite, because when a piece of equipment breaks, you're the only one that can get it going the next day so that you can keep working. So especially in Michigan, the governor, she needs to open up the state. She started off this year. It was illegal to cut grass. For everybody but her husband, except for her husband, it was illegal for anybody to go out on a boat unless it was a sailboat. Except for her husband, who said, do you know who my wife is? Put my boat in the water immediately, he said. Let me out on the lake. Meanwhile, people were without work and couldn't even go fishing to feed their family. This is the same governor that roped off and prohibited people from buying seeds for their garden. Wouldn't let them buy paint to paint their bedrooms. So, one that considers Joe Biden to be a very good friend, and they've both called each other friend publicly many times. And the governor that I would not be surprised if she doesn't end up in the administration of the Harris-Biden presidency if somehow they get elected. So to say there's a lot on the line would probably be one of the bigger understatements we've had in a long time. People talk about this ammo shortage. We call it ammo shortage 2020, and I predicted it along with so many of you that this was going to happen through 2020. That was pretty obvious. I remember Sandy Hook. I remember the AWB of 1994. Now, keep in mind the Harris-Biden ban. This won't have a sunset. They brag they're not going to fall for that trick next time. Next time it won't be for 10 years. It'll be forever, and they're promising that. And although they lie about almost everything, I think we should believe them in this. When they tell you they're going to do this, everything in this plan, they're going to do it. And I'd bet myself on it. I'd bet anything on it because I know how these people work. They're going to put it through no matter what it takes. If they can get it to pass above the table, great. If not, they'll go under the table. And when it comes to the vice president candidate, going under the table can mean many things. Many, many things. You guys can fill in the blanks on that. But, yeah, when they say we're going to take it, we're going to ban them all, well, look no further than Joe Biden said Beto O'Rourke will be my gun czar. You know, it still gets me, and I know a lot of you guys probably run into the same thing when you're out on your social media. So answer me this question, guys. How is it that the, quote, reasonable gun owner, they walk in, they're real stiff and rigid, and they're like, hello, ladies and gentlemen, I am the reasonable gun owner. Ain't nobody gonna try to take your gun. Blah, blah, blah. We have the Second Amendment. You guys know those type of people? I'm sorry, for all of you guys out there that say ain't nobody going to take my gun, Joe Biden, you guys can look it up. It's on YouTube. It's on many places. He had Beto Bozo O'Rourke, Robert Francis O'Rourke. He had him up on the stage and said, and if you elect me president, he'll be my gun czar. Now, if you remember when Beto was running, Beta, they call him so many things too. You guys notice this year? Everybody's called like 35 different things. These people don't even know where they are. Kamala walks into a rally. There's 12 people there. They've got these perfect little circles, right? They're standing in their circles. And before she goes up on stage, she goes, where am I? You're in Cleveland, man. What am I doing? You're ready to give a speech. Why is that? Just go up there. I mean, you can't even make this stuff up, right? Well, whatever you want to call him, Beta, Bozo, he got up on stage right next to Biden and said, I'll be your gun czar, sir. Well, when he was campaigning for president, he said, yes, I'm going to take your AR-15. I'm going to take your AK-47. That's what he said. Does he have every intention of doing that? Of course he has every intention of trying to do that. And then people say, but hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. They can't do that. That'd be unconstitutional. And I'm like, okay, we're agreeing now. Of course it's unconstitutional. But there's like thousands of things, so many things we could never count them all that they do that's unconstitutional. So what's going to stop them from doing it? I'll ask these reasonable gun owners. I'm using reasonable in air quotes because to me, if you're with the Constitution, you're with the Declaration, you're with the Bill of Rights, you're reasonable. If you're not with it, you're unreasonable. But I digress. The reasonable guy will step up and say, but hold on a minute. We have the Supreme Court. And I'm like, okay, good call. But what about when they pack the court? Oh, well, they would never try to do that. Well, they're saying they're going to. Schumer, Pelosi, Biden, Harris, they're going to pack the court. They say, okay. And then the reasonable guy comes back. See, I've had these arguments 1,000 times, guys, and you have too. I know you have. So we're just kind of venting together, and I'm offering you guys some encouragement, maybe some strategy in your next argument with all these reasonable folks. They'll say, but hold on a minute. We have the United States Senate. They're not just going to let that happen. Oh, really? Because Chuck Schumer has promised that he will suspend the current rules of the Senate and he'll get rid of the filibuster, not just for budget reconciliation purposes or for appointments of judges, how it is now, but no. Right now, if you're balancing the budget, quote unquote, it's more complicated than that, but if it's a budget neutral bill, right, they can do it on a straight majority, 51 to 49. In the case of 50-50, then President Pence could come in and preside over the Senate and make it 51 to 50. You know, that's how it works. Just 101 of the Senate, right? Nope. Schumer's saying he's going to end the filibuster. Okay. So now they would only need 51 votes. And Vice President Harris, look, not for long. She'll be the president. At that point in time, somebody else, maybe Nancy Pelosi, is an interim. Then somebody else, right, will become, it might be Vice President Whitmer. Wow. Wow, did I just say that? No, literally, it could be. They're really good friends. So you could have Vice President Whitmer presiding over the Senate to cast that tie-breaking vote. Or if that's not good enough, with a straight majority after changing the rules, Schumer could have the Senate vote. We already know the House is controlled by Democrats, and I hope not, but probably will remain so. They could pass legislation to adopt what they call statehood. Puerto Rico. Look, no offense against the Puerto Ricans. A lot of Puerto Rican Americans watch this channel, and you guys are awesome people, and you guys have actually some pretty good gun rights that were passed about a year ago. But at the same time, just the way things poll, it's almost certain both of the senators from the new state, would-be state of Puerto Rico, would be Democrats. Washington, D.C., that's 100% guarantee, not even a debate if they make that a state. Now, to me, there'd be so much fundamentally wrong with making Washington, D.C. a state. It would make me sick, but this is what they're promising to do. So let's just go back now to how I started off. The Harris-Biden administration. Biden doesn't know where he is. Now, Harris doesn't know where she is either, but she probably does just a little more than him. Like, this is seriously where am I? What state am I in? They've both said it, okay? And look, you mispronounce her name. She gets all bent out of shape. Everyone gets bent out of shape, lights themselves on fire. I've heard her pronounce her name at least 3 different times now in the past week, and I've heard him mispronounce her name 17 times. Remember when he was up on the stage, guys, and he said, I'm I'm Joe Biden, and this is my wife here, and this is my daughter here. And then you can barely hear on the microphone, honey, it's me. Oh, excuse me. Where am I? Where am I, darling? Where am I? Oh, what's that? Honey, you got us mixed up. Oh, this is my wife, Jill, here, and this is my daughter. Go back and look it up. It's on YouTube. Again, Kamala Harris is running for president. There's no debate whatsoever. Do you guys think she'd sign that? Do you think Pelosi would put up the legislation, the doctrine? Do you think Pelosi would try to get that through the House? What do you guys think? I think so. I definitely think so. What do you guys think? Do you think Schumer, with his now expanded to 104 senators, with his 54-50 majority, whatever it may be at the time, what do you guys think? Do you think he would move that bill through? Do you guys think he would end the filibuster? What do you think? Do you think President Kamala Harris, with Vice President Gretchen Whitmer, or whoever, presiding over the Senate, how do you guys think they vote? Now, I'm not trying to be too doom and gloom. The doom and gloom, you don't have to look any further than supposedly, in name only, presidential candidate Biden, when he said in the debate, this will be a very dark winter. He's basically saying if you elect him, things are grim. This is going to be the darkest winter you've ever had, and you don't have to take my word for it. He said it himself. By the way, how did he get all of his money being a public servant his whole life? How do you guys think he did? He's a very rich man. Now, the president's also a very rich man, but he hasn't been a politician. He's been a businessman, and he's actually lost a lot of money in his first almost 4 years of office. See, so here's what they do. They rip on him and say, look, he's using his office to exploit it to make money. But then when they find out, no, he didn't, they rip on him for not paying many taxes. He lost money. That's why he didn't pay a lot in taxes last year. He lost money. When you lose money, that offsets your profits, just like if your lawnmower breaks down and you can't cut grass for an extremely long period of time and you go into a loss, your losses offset your profits. It's kind of funny how they like to have it both ways with him. Have you guys ever thought of that? He's using the presidency to enrich himself. 18 angry Democrats, Mueller, they go after the guy for years, spend millions of dollars. All he had is a perfectly acceptable phone call. That's all he did. Yeah, but he must be using himself to enrich. And then when they go to try to prove that, no, he didn't actually enrich his businesses. His businesses lost money while he wasn't inking the business deals he needed to. And then they rip on him and say, well, he didn't pay much taxes. Look, he lost money to be the president. Of course, he didn't pay a lot of taxes in that year when he lost money. It's kind of crazy, though. But Biden's very, very rich. He says he's just a kid from Scranton. Well, not really. He lived there till he was a little kid. I wonder why. I don't see any journalists asking that. Where'd he get all his money? I don't know. Where's Hunter? Has anyone seen Hunter? Where's Hunter? Oh, I think I just saw him right there in the chat, actually. Wow. There he is. He's right there. See him? Wow. Where's Hunter, guys? Cruz with the super chat. Thank you. Trump all the way. Thank you for your fight for the 2A. And that's what it's all about, guys. Look, this is a mainly Second Amendment channel. But, of course, I care about many other things besides just that, including our country, because here's the deal. Guns aren't about hunting. They're not about recreational shooting. They're about, like, we need the Second Amendment the very most when the government just tries to ignore all the rest. I think a lot of us think like that. And that's why it's so important. In one way, it's not my favorite amendment. I like them all equally. I love all of it. These are beautiful documents. And I truly mean that. Like, you almost shed a tear if you look at the beauty of these original founding documents. But I still always put the second number one, because without it, I think we lose all the rest. And I think as they keep on going after the Second Amendment more and more, they do keep going after all the rest. And a lot of our rights have been diminished. Let's see here. Bludgeoned American Patriot. Thanks for the super chat. Keep 2A great. Trump 2020. All love, brother. Well, thank you. And you know what? If you guys love what I'm saying, then that's awesome. If you hate what I'm saying, look, that's totally fine too. Now, you can sit there and you can complain all you want, but I'm just letting you guys know I'm not going to back down. I didn't do anything wrong to you guys. I'm going to keep on just giving my honest opinion. And my honest opinion is this. I'm going to say it again for people who are just joining, because these are live streams. Somebody will come and watch it later. For those of you watching it later, I love all of you guys who just can't make it on a Friday night, and many of you look forward to watching again on a Saturday. You'll come in and be like, dude, you said the same thing 3 times. Well, yeah, because my man Ozark Yemen just popped in, but I didn't see him at the beginning, right? And I really like Ozark, so maybe you guys know how this works, right? And I do like him, and Ozark Yemen is my friend, and you know, I really recommend going to look at his channel, guys. He's low production just like me, but that's what I like about it. Because what he does is he gets on there lately. He's become a news channel, you know, firearms too, but mainly news. And he gets on there and he'll tell you some of the stuff. And he's broken a lot of news to me that I didn't hear from any of the mainstream sources. But people come and go throughout the night. So sometimes I repeat myself a couple times. It's amazing, guys. You do a channel like this. Someone comes in and says, "What's wrong with you? I watched your stream for 2 hours and you said this one thing 3 times. And I'm like, okay. Have you ever heard of a live stream? No, I'm new to YouTube, but screw you anyways. And I'm like, look, dude, no offense, but we're not really getting off on the right foot, because here's the problem. You may be new, but I'm actually not new. So sorry, but whatever. I digress. So they're sitting there talking about what they're going to do. And I think sometimes people literally like lose the forest through the trees. People are literally still trying to make this argument and say, yeah, well, Joe Biden says he acknowledges the Second Amendment, okay? And that he supports it and that he acknowledges it's there, right? I'm like, well, of course he does, right? And like I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, the devil also acknowledges God. And he knows he's real, and he trembles at his name. What this means is this. Of course they know the Second Amendment, and of course they tremble at it, because it's one of the few things left keeping them from completely and utterly fulfilling their tyrannical rule that they want to have over all of us, we the people. But it appears to me they prefer not to look at us as people, but the peasants. And what would stop them from that? Well, there's an old saying in the gun world. A good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun. And I think probably Biden knows that he's not a good person, right? So why does he want to get rid of our guns? Have you ever actually asked that for yourself? Have you asked some of your, quote, reasonable gun-owning friends that? It's like, well, hold on a minute. I'm a good guy. I have a gun. I've never done bad to anybody. And then your friend agrees. And look, probably 99.99% of us would all agree on that. We're good people. They've got nothing to worry about. Why? Why are they so worried about us having guns? Because just the sheer fact that somebody wants to disarm you makes you really wonder what they're up to where they'd even think in a million years people would want to take up arms against them. Isn't that an interesting question to ask? What are they doing that's so bad that they would even be worried about it? Because I'll tell you what, no one's doing anything to me that's completely crazy. They're not trying to take my life or liberty or hurt my family, imminent threat, all these things. I'm not going to need to feel the need to defend myself, right? It's a good question. Why are they so worried about it? The only question that's better than that right now is, where's Hunter? Has anyone seen him? I don't know where he's at. Now, I can't even really talk about some of the stuff about him because this is a family-friendly channel. And if you even scratch the surface of where he might be and what he's might be doing right now, it would become very, very, very family unfriendly. But we want to keep it that way. So we'll just say, where's Hunter? I don't know where she's at. Let's see here. I'm going to say hi to some of you guys. It's a little bit delayed, but hey, whatever. A little bit better late than never. Let's see who's in here tonight. Let me scroll up a little bit here. We've got Guerrero M. How's it going? Saying somebody hates Trump. He's saying, I don't like him either, but I'd rather vote for him than any Democrat. Look, I don't worship him. He's just another guy. He's done some stuff that's really ticked me off, sure, but this right here, they call it the Biden plan to end our gun violence epidemic. And if you didn't tune in last week, go back and watch that stream. This is pretty thorough. It's pretty comprehensive. It's pretty crazy. I don't see Trump trying to do this. Do you? Does anyone see that? I don't think so. Tall Titan, what's happening? We got Paul Sharon, what's up? And I saw your better half earlier too. So shout out to the missus. We've got Burt Music. We've got Flying Rich. What's happening, Rich? We've got that guy. Oh, there she is. There's the better half. Candace, how's it going? Let's see here. Matt Tanimo says they won't take our guns if we all collectively fight back, both with votes or physically if we have to. Well, we have an election coming up, guys. I'm advocating for votes right now. Doesn't that sound like the easier way? Sounds like the better way to me. Yeah, Matt Morrison. What's happening, Matt? He says, apparently if you can't get it done by the rules, just change the rules to fit your needs. Socialist Party 2020. Yeah, that's basically what I was getting at the whole time, wasn't I? See, this always happens to me. I go off 20 minutes. I think of this whole way to explain it. Then somebody like Matt Morrison comes in and says it in one sentence and probably said it better than I did. Thank you, Matt. Thank you for making yourself look smarter than me. Nah, thanks for real, man. Eagle One. Yeah, man, these masks are crazy, aren't they? Terry Stanley, it's like a horror story for Halloween. Kind of. And look, guys, there's only one vote. Well, that depends. Hold on, never mind. Never mind. If you're a Democrat, there may be different ways. Look. He was a Republican his whole life, voted for every Republican president, all the way up through, until he died, unfortunately, in 1992. And since then, he's done nothing but vote straight ticket Democrat. We joke about these things until you actually see cases of it. And the mail-in ballot sent to somebody's cat. And the same thing, there it was a fine cat. They said it was probably the most beautiful, nicest animal anyone had ever seen. It was that good of a cat. No matter how good of a cat, it probably still didn't deserve a ballot, though, right? But it's even worse than that. The cat had already been dead for nearly a decade when said cat did receive the mail-in ballot. And in that case, the owner was honest enough and sent it back to the Elections Commission and called the news and said, this is insane. I could have literally filled this out, like, because they sent it to the cat. And then the owner reiterated, it was a wonderful cat. The cat probably would have been a Trump supporter, but I just can't put it down because as good of a cat as it was, it's been dead for 10 years. Now just think of all the other people, though, that might not have been as honest as that person. And if they weren't that honest, maybe they were supporting the Harris-Biden administration. Maybe not, but they might have been, right? And they did fill out that ballot. Felix, he was the best cat ever. And when he died 10 years ago, his last wishes were not only he died. His last wishes witnessed were, do not, no matter what, nominate or vote on Amy Coney Barrett for the Supreme Court. That was his last wishes. But his second to last wishes, okay? His second to last wishes was, please put me down as a vote for the Harris-Biden administration. That was his last wishes. So the owner said, well, hold on a minute. I'm just doing what's right. I'm going to fill out this whole ballot for Felix. What do you guys think? All I know is there were a couple honest voters that did get said ballot. And God bless them, turned it in, right? Yeah. What's happening, EV3 Dale? How's it going? We've got Brian Henney in the chat. What's up? Double B, how's it going? Tall Titan. Yeah, Tall Titan was chatting with me on my Patreon. Thank you, sir, for your Patreon support. Everyone else who's watching, I really appreciate it, guys. Look, they like to demonetize almost everything. I'm doing this for fun, but when I bring new stuff on the channel, it does cost me money. So I really appreciate all you guys' help because business has not been good this year. The governor was not good for business. And the reason I've been able to have this cool stuff to show you guys is not from Susan like you'd think, but from you all. So I appreciate it. And everyone who enjoys all the videos appreciates it so I can buy new stuff. Because you guys don't like to only hear me talk, right? Sometimes you guys like to see stuff. Thank you, Paul Sharon, for the super chat. He says, keep it going. Enjoy my Friday night. And speaking of which, I had no idea this wasn't on cue. I said he was the best cat. He was the best looking cat, right? But his last wishes were no Amy Coney Barrett. But then right after that, his very last wishes were fill in the ballot for the Kamala Joe administration 2020. But I said he was the best looking cat. I lied, guys. Look at this here. Look at Paul. Hold on a minute. That is probably the best looking cat. Look at that cat. Let me find it here. Wow. Have you guys seen a better looking cat lately? I don't think so, actually. I don't know if my wife's watching, but that kind of looks like Rufus if he lost 30 pounds. Ooh, my wife's cat looks like that, but 30 pounds heavier. Stuart Britt, cat frog. Well, yeah. Kyle Forrest, will you be talking about the ATF and pistol braces? ATF, I've never heard of that. Let me see. What's that stand for? Alcohol, tobacco, firearms. Shoot, who's bringing the chips? That sounds like a party. ATF, the host of your next Halloween party, right? Guerrero M, thumbs up, people. Thanks. I'm sure there's some people leaving the thumbs downs. By the way, guys, look, I don't know. Look, religious freedom, I don't care. It's all up to you guys. Look, I believe in God. So for me, it's praying. If you're a praying person, if you pray in Jesus' name, if you just send good vibes, if you send best wishes, whatever it is that you do, please pray for Guerrero and his family. He's lost family members very recently, and it makes me sad. And I don't know if that's even his real name, but it doesn't matter. God, whatever you believe in, whoever you pray to, they know who it is. They know who he is. So if all of you could just take a moment, and pray for Guerrero. He himself was sick this year, and he's a tough dude, and he made it through. But some of his family who also, they were tough too. They just couldn't quite make it. So I want to just pray for Guerrero's family real briefly, or whatever good vibes you guys send out. So just give me about 2 seconds here, because he's been a good friend of the channel, and just really pray that God could provide some peace to his family right now. God bless you, man. God bless you. I hope you and your family are okay. I know you're not okay, but I hope it gets better. And I think it will get better. So take care of yourself, man. I consider so many of you guys good friends. And when one of our friends isn't doing good, we need to try to uplift them the best we can, Who else have we got in here? Darth Yogi. What's happening? Patriot Rob. We got Casey Gibson. Voting tomorrow? All right. What do they say? Vote early and vote often. Oh, never mind. That's what the Biden people do. Look, you can't vote often, guys. You're only allowed to vote once. Me, I'm going Tuesday. I'm going to do it in person. You never know for sure if it's going to count, but I think that's the best chance. I'm going to go there in person. I'm going to put it in the ballot box. I want to watch it physically go in. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? There's just something about it. If you needed to vote by mail and stuff, God bless you too. You know, that's everyone makes their own choices. I'm just telling you guys what my choices are. Wait a minute now. He says he has the best cats. Cats and cars and ring ticket. Well, hold on a minute. You know dang well I have a better looking cat. What did I start here? What did I start here? Look at all these beautiful cats in the audience. Wow, there's so many cats. I got to be very careful now, guys. I forgot about this. Ooh, they're all your friends till you say someone else's cat's better looking. Then it can go to heck real fast. Don Honecker, what's happening, man? Defunding the police. Yeah, I think that's stupid. That's pretty darn stupid. Neil, yeah, RBG probably voted before she passed. She may have, actually. Some of these people have been voting for months and months, and in some of the states, you're allowed to keep voting afterwards. It'll be 2024, right? 2024. Pence will be running for president, right? And they'll say, hold on. We can't do the 2024 election. The state of Pennsylvania is still waiting for the last couple people to cast their vote. The state of North Carolina still has some undecided voters. They're waiting to see how the administration went till after it was over before they put their vote in. That's how it seems it's going to be, doesn't it? In some cases. Ooh. Absolutely, Casey. There you go. Of course. Like I said, everyone has their reasons, and I meant that. I wasn't just saying it. He has a good reason right there. I'm a trucker, so tomorrow's my only day I can go. Right on, dude. And I like truckers, too. Lots of good truckers hang out in here, actually. I consider that a pretty cool profession. Even though traffic sucks, you guys have to be pretty even-headed to drive a truck with the way people drive, at least in Michigan anyways. Wow. Whew. Dana, thank you. Thank you for reminding me, because we're going to put all this cat debate we're pretty much going to squash all of it right now. Who has the best looking cat? I don't know. All of these cats look so good, we could probably never discuss it, but it's all a moot point because, hold on a minute. Because to be honest with you, right here, better looking than all of your cats combined. Not even close, so the cat debate's over. In fact, he looks so good, I'm starting to see a resemblance. I'm starting to think he looks a little bit like me, but I'm not the father, so just letting you guys know. So, yeah. You guys can argue about the cats, but it all just got settled right there. It's over. What do you think, Pillbox Bunker? I think it's over. There we go. Let me move my camera back where it was. Susan came in here and moved my camera before this stream started. By the way, hey, Susan. I sent the roses, guys, so hopefully the stream should go pretty good. Center the roses with the extra long thorns. White roses. With just a little accent of red, like you just dripped it right down the sides of the petals. You know what I mean? So, hope you enjoy them, Susan. Oh, yeah. See, it's not even a debate. Hold on a minute. Come on, man. You're not even going there. Did you think that was a... No. Come on, man. Give me a break. Watch, now my friend Ray is going to pop up because I said give me a break. She'll get me on that. That's how some of these women are. They'll pretend they're not around until the opportunity, then phew, they're right there. Oh, yeah, the Halloween kitty. As good looking as Linda is, I bet you she has the best looking cat. However, it's still all a moot point because we've already voted on. It was unanimously decided the nicest, best looking animal in this whole channel and stream as far as that goes. Now, let's go to Michigan real quick, guys, and then I'm going to hang out with you all some more. And look, there's more of you I didn't say hi to than I did. There's just too many of you, but hello to everybody. I really appreciate hanging out with you guys. And I do go back and read all of these afterwards. Right, Brastard762? Brastard762. He's been around a long time. He knows how I do this. He says, those who comply only beg for more regulation. I would agree with that. I would. Okay, so if you follow this going on in Michigan here, there's the governor. Oh, boy. Again, back to this. They call her so many things, I can't even remember. Let's just randomly call her Witless. Governor Witless. And the AG, Nessel, she's a real beauty, trust me. And another real beauty, the Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson. Let's call these the Three Musketeers. Nah, I'm going to go with another thing they've been called lately. Let's call them the Three Tyrants. And here's what they think. They think they can go completely outside of rule of law. If they don't like the law, they just think they can put edicts out. And the Secretary of State tried some of her antics just a couple weeks ago. And if you guys remember back, I reported that the Secretary of State has now put in gun control. So she thought. And she said that you couldn't open carry a firearm within 100 foot of a polling station, clerk's office, all these things on election day, which is not within her scope whatsoever, okay? Completely violates not only the Michigan Constitution, but the United States Constitution, and not just once, twice, but violates both of them like 10 different times if you really get down to the nitty-gritty. And I've done 2 fairly comprehensive videos on it, okay? So go back and watch if you guys are new or if you just missed those videos. So it started off, she put in the ban. I'm like, there's no way this could possibly be constitutional. And it wasn't. And a judge shot it down, which I reported on. And when I did that video, at the very end, I said, but, because these tyrants aren't going to rest. They're not going to rest unless we stop them or they take all of our rights. And that's pretty much what they've been known now. They're never going to stop. They're never going to stop. And that's why I do not want the Democrats to take control here in 2020, because look, if you live in Michigan, it really opens up your eyes really, really quick. I live in a very, very tyrannical state that wasn't always this way, and it wasn't just a couple years ago, but things change fast, very fast. And now we have the Secretary of State not begging you about your license plate tab renewals, not failing you on your mechanic's renewal license. Nope. Not running the elections to make sure that they're orderly and legal. Nope. But trying to enact gun control? Yeah, well, a judge had shot it down, and I was very happy to report that, right? The Court of Appeals. Let me back up. This is about the Court of Appeals. I'm sorry, I'm putting the cart before the horse here. So, Court of Appeals upholds halt to Benson's open carry ban at Michigan's polls. So the last time I reported on this, okay, you had a Court of Claims judge, and he had set it aside and said, nope, nope. Court of Claims Judge Patrick Meter, he said, accordingly, anyone who intimidates a voter in Michigan by brandishing a firearm, or for that matter, by threatening with a knife, baseball bat, fist, or otherwise menacing behavior is committing a felony under existing law, and that law is and remains enforceable by our executive branch, as well as local law enforcement. Court of Claims Judge Patrick Meter wrote in the brief order. So he basically said, look, if you're going to use a gun or anything as far as that goes to intimidate or stop somebody from voting, that's already illegal. It's already a felony. There's no reason to take guns out of the good people's hands, because the other side's argument was they could use the gun and hold people at gunpoint or just scare them otherwise to not let them vote. And he's saying, well, that's fine, even though I'm going to throw your order out because it's unconstitutional, and it is. I'm not going to make the judge into a hero for doing his job. I'm just going to simply say he did his job, which he was supposed to, which is awesome, right? He said, look, you don't need these unconstitutional edicts. I'm going to throw that aside. But by the way, all of your fears, all of her reasons she said she needed to do this, they're still valid reasons, because if anyone prevents anybody threatening them with any object, a fist or otherwise, menacing behaviors, already committing a felony under existing law. Because she had this garbage argument that said, well, some people will just simply be too afraid to vote because people have firearms. And he's reminding them that, yeah, whether it's a firearm, their fist, or anything, if you menace somebody, intimidate them from voting, there's already laws that cover that. And I agree with him. And on its face, it's like so obvious, right? Well, she said, I'm going to appeal it. I'm going to appeal it right away. So this article starts off, this is as reported by the Detroit News. And this is just yesterday afternoon, October 29th. The Michigan Court of Appeals has denied Denied. You hear that, Secretary of State? You got denied again. Why? Because you went against the Constitution. But I digress. The Michigan Court of Appeals has denied Attorney General Dana Nessel's appeal of a lower court decision. Like I said, she's another beauty. Both of them got denied. A court decision that halted Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson's open carry ban at polling places. But Nessel immediately appealed to the Michigan Supreme Court. Look, the plaintiffs are this, right? The plaintiffs are the gun rights organizations that I mentioned in the last video. The defendants are Dana Nessel, the Attorney General, because she's saying that this Secretary of State order is legal and enforceable. She's the, quote, strong arm of the law, right? So we've got Nessel, the Attorney General, Benson, the Secretary of State, and then the Michigan State Police. These are all defendants in this case. Well, guess what? The Michigan Court of Appeals has just denied their appeal, so now they're going right up to the top to the Supreme Court. Before all of these disappear, though, thank you, Chuck R., for the super chat. I'm handing out bags of ammo for Halloween. What neighborhood do you live in, man? Come on, man. All you guys instantly start making friends with Chuck. See if you're in the neighborhood. That's pretty cool. Nice bike, by the way. Philly Patriot with a super chat. Thank you. Philly Patriots 1776. That was a good year. July 4th, 1776. One of the most beautiful documents ever written was penned. It was penned with pride, and it was basically them signing their own death sentence. Because if they had lost, look, these were the toughest guys ever. If they were, I hate to say this, but if they were like the average American nowadays, they'd all be dead, and we'd all be speaking who knows what language right now. Just saying. But I digress. Here in Philly, the protests are far from friendly, like media wants you to believe. Trump 2020. Yes, sir. That looks like a nice Smith & Wesson shield from here. If I'm wrong, let me know. But that's what it looks like. I have a shield. It's a great gun, actually. Oh, yeah, I know. Mostly peaceful as he looks behind him. This protest is mostly peaceful, sir. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You see the fire? Yeah. Oh, besides these Molotov cocktails right here, the guy getting beat in the head with a baseball bat. Other than that, folks, nothing to see here. Mostly peaceful. Yeah. That's why I showed footage of that Trump rally. That was peaceful. That was a very peaceful protest. So, yeah. Be safe in Philadelphia, guys. I know I have quite a few good viewers actually from Philadelphia, right in that area. So you guys make sure you're very safe there and protect yourselves. That's all I can say is protect yourselves. Of course I nailed it, Philly. I'm kind of a gun guy. He said, nope, you nailed it. Shield Performance Center. Nice, dude. Nice gun. Congratulations on that. Hopefully you've got it nearby. Hopefully they're not going to throw a Molotov cocktail through your house. I don't think so. What do you guys think? Do you think they're going to get too far with their Molotov cocktail on Philly Patriots' house? I don't think so. I think he's going to be all right. And I hope you are, sir. So they're going through here, and they basically say that this Judge Meter, an appointee for Republican. Of course, the Detroit News can't go 30 seconds without trying to get things partisan. Was an appointee from former Republican Governor John Engler, which this must be an old judge, because if you look at Michigan, you've got the one that they call more things than I could even count. That's the current whatever she is, right? The current governor, they call her. Nobody can leave their house, guys. You can't even buy seeds. You cannot buy seeds to plant your garden. Except for the governor's husband. He's out on his boat. He's yachting. He's water skiing. He's fishing. That governor. There's her, right? Then you go back before that, it was Governor Snyder. Then it was Granholm, another complete beauty. Trust me. Then you go back before her to Engler. So this is an old school judge just by what administration appointed him. Now, maybe he was really young. People are like, well, hold on. He's only 35. I don't know. Unless he was in diapers when he was appointed. This is a judge that's been around a long time. He probably knows what he's doing, right? Really, though, I could have been the judge. That cat, that beautiful cat. Where's Paul Sharon's cat? That cat that's in Paul's avatar could have decided this case, though. It was so unconstitutional. Lamy just literally, I was like, Lamy, is this legit? Raise your right ear. And look, His right ear was already raised, like before I even finished. That's how unconstitutional this edict was. But hey, again, at least the judge did his job and read the Constitution, which seems to be pretty rare by a lot of judges nowadays. But Judge Patrick Meter did the right thing, but Nussel appealed. Okay. And then it goes on to say, Jarvie, a spokesperson for Nussel's office, the merits of this issue, which impacts all Michiganders, deserves full and expedited consideration by our state's highest court. Okay. And then they go on, serial litigant Robert Davis, one of the plaintiffs in the suit, celebrated the decision Thursday, calling it another victory for the rule of law. I hope that the Secretary of State and Attorney General have learned their lesson, that they cannot unilaterally change the law, and they need to follow and enforce the law as it is written, Davis said. And I agree with him. And thankfully, not only the judge, but the 3-judge appeals panel also agreed. So it was over. Basically, her appeal was denied. Her appeal was overruled, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, they agreed with the lower court, the Court of Claims, and said, no, this edict can't go through. So that's where we're at in Michigan. If election day were to happen today, or if you're voting early today, I'm not a lawyer, do your own research, but according to what we see here by the judge, the appeals, the 3-judge panel, they're saying that this edict is struck down. There's still time before this Tuesday for it to go to the Michigan Supreme Court. I hope nothing changes, but anything's possible, right? I would note that the Supreme Court for Michigan is an elected position, as I think it is in most states, if not all. Now, it's lifetime appointment in the United States Supreme Court, but in Michigan, they're elected. And you're going to want to look at how these justices vote on cases like this, cases like overruling all of Whitmer's executive actions. You need to look at who's voting what, right? And use that to guide you. Now, if you want to be locked down and wear a mask all the time, you'll know who to vote for. If you look at the ones, though, that overruled and threw out all of her executive orders, you might want to vote for them. So, same thing with this gun rights case. Meter is an appointee for Republicans. Says he was joined on the panel by judges Michael Godola and Brock Swartzel, both appointees of Republican former Governor Rick Snyder. And I would note right here, Swartzel is running for Michigan Supreme Court on Tuesday's election. So there you go, Swartzel. If you're voting for the 2A in Michigan, here's a name right here. You can literally look at what he's doing right now. Brock Swartzel, probably be a good one to vote for if you're a Michigander and you're pro 2A, because Brock Swartzel, amongst these other two people here, they just voted to basically strike down, if you will, or to concur with the lower court that had struck down the Secretary of State's illegal gun ban edict. I know if you go to my friend Catherine Henry's website, it's restorefreedomkh.com. She's my friend. She's been on this channel, and I actually want to get a hold of her here this weekend. I'd like to have her on again to talk about this issue and other things that are very important. If you go right to her page, she actually gives what would be her recommendations for the vote for the Michigan Supreme Court. And I feel like I need to pause 1 second to get you guys that link. Sorry, I don't want to bore the rest of you guys that live in other states, but there's quite a few Michiganders on here. So this is the lady that started the Restore Freedom Initiative, is to put a ballot initiative, or an initiative on the ballot, right, to amend Michigan's Constitution for a constitutional amendment that will get rid of a lot of this crap. So I'm reading from, it's just restorefreedomkh.com. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it into the chat for you guys. If you guys have been around my channel, you've seen, look, I go to a lot of these local events with her. You'll see us hanging out, me interviewing her. I don't really call it interview, right? But like chatting with her. She's been a guest on this channel. This is her website. And she's recommending Carrie Lee Morgan and Brock Swartzel. And no doubt she's had those names on this website for much longer than this recent case. But this does reaffirm that as of literally yesterday at 4:30 p.m. that Brock Swartzel is a pro-Second Amendment judge who's running for the Michigan Supreme Court. And that's what it takes for me. It doesn't take a good campaign slogan. How do you vote is a good indication of how you will vote. Is anything perfect? No, but I'm going to vote for him more than the judge that tried to, say, uphold an illegal, unconstitutional gun ban. That's just common sense, right? Jane Locke, there she is. How's it going, Jane? Another patriot from Michigan who I know well. She's another good one. And as I was sitting there going through all of it, she probably already had it typed in. That's how this works, right? Let's see here. Who else have we got hanging out? So that's good news in Michigan. Dana, Catherine's been killing it. She's been working hard. A lot of us have been working hard. I mean, that's why we're all friends with each other, right? Rick Nieper, there's another good one. You guys know he's my friend. I'd like to have him back on here soon, too. Are you back in Michigan yet, man? He's like, screw you, it's 32 in Michigan. I'm going back on vacation to... I mean, it's not a straight vacation. He has business to take care of in Florida, but I'm going to give you a hard time, Rick. I'm like, Rick, what are you thinking of this cold weather? He's like, it's not cold. It's 80 degrees and sunny. Screw you. Nah, Rick's a good one. Seven Wonders. There's another good one. What's happening, man? How you doing? Another Michigan guy, JB in water too. See, I just keep repeating myself when I say a good one. How about this? There's like 100 good people. Hopefully I can find as many of you as possible, though, before these chats go by so fast, guys. Yep, important. Where can we find out what judge to vote for? And great minds think alike, and I already answered that. We got Mary Kelly and we've got Brock in Michigan. Now, you guys that live in other states, okay? Help out your other people because I just don't know. I don't know. Tom Price says, Tom Thome, I'm going to go with Tom, okay? Says he's in Columbus, Ohio. Who should he be voting for Supreme Court Justice of Ohio? I don't know. But if you guys know somebody like that, let me know. Let me know. Braster does give a good point. It is nice to get a mail-in ballot because, look, all state. I'm not even going to give legal advice on this because there's 50 states. But I know in some states you can request the mail-in ballot, have it in front of you, use it for research purposes, and then just go like discard that. I don't know if you have to shred it. Again, I don't know. I'm not an election lawyer. But what Braster's saying is this: he likes to get the mail-in ballot so he can really research the judges and the bond issues or other people he doesn't know about. I think that's really, really good advice. So let's look at it this way. You might already have it in your head by now. You're already either going to vote for Trump or Kamala Harris for president. But who are you voting for your school board? There's a bond issue, maybe it's called. What's a bond issue? Well, if you don't know what a bond issue is, it's going to affect your taxes, okay? It could be a school bond issue, right? So make sure you know what a bond issue is and look at what it's for because that's going to be a question on there. There could be a ballot initiative that's on there from your state. Look, we've had very draconian gun laws passed right underneath people's noses before. And after it was all done, they said, well, hold on a minute. If I would have known that's what it was, I would have voted against it. But they didn't know. So this is my call to all of you guys. Of course it matters who we get in the White House, in the United States Senate, the lower chamber of the legislature, right? The United States House of Representatives. Of course that matters. But you got your state rep, your state senator, you've got your township, right? If you live in a city, you've got your city hall, you've got maybe your mayor, your county sheriff. County sheriff, those in the marshals, many people are saying the only legitimate form of law enforcement we even have. I would certainly say the sheriff is probably the most legitimate, and it's definitely the constitutional authorized law enforcement that the Constitution very specifically legitimizes. Who's running for sheriff in your town? Because they can do a lot to either help you with your life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness or hamper it if they're on the other side of things. So make sure you know who's running for that county sheriff. Very, very important decision. So I could not agree more with what Brastard's saying, and I would literally, ask all you guys to do the same thing. Know who you're voting for. Know what's on your ballot. There'll be weird stuff on the ballot sometimes. I'll even talk to friends, and they'll be like, hey, since when did they sneak that BS in on the ballot? And I'm like, yeah, it was a bunch of BS, but you voted no for it, right? Well, I didn't know what to do. What did you do? I just voted yes. I'm like, but you didn't know what it was. Well, no, how'd they sneak it in? Well, who cares how? The fact is, you didn't know. You didn't even read it. You just voted yes for blah, 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 blah. What? I would never vote yes for that. This is a true story. And I'm like, well, you just did. But I didn't know that's what it was. Don't be that guy. Don't be that gal. And I think all of you guys know better. Look, I'm preaching to the choir. I get it. Not to belittle anyone here, but maybe one of you has a friend, a cousin, a neighbor, maybe your mom or dad, your children. Maybe you already know. Everyone's going to have this one person. You're like, I bet you Jimmy, I bet you Susan, whoever. I bet you they don't know about this ballot initiative. If you live in Michigan, you might have a pro-gun friend right now, and you're like, I bet you $1 that my friend Jimmy, let's just say, he doesn't know that Brock Swartzel is on the ballot for Michigan Supreme Court. And he just voted, right? Pro 2A. Well, if your friend Jimmy doesn't know who Brock Swartzel is, doesn't know how he voted, make sure he knows who he is, who Mr. Swartzel is for the ballot that he'll be filling out in Michigan this Tuesday. And it's just these little things. It's these little things that you got to do. You got to cancel out that cat's vote because Felix the cat, he was a beautiful cat, but he's going to vote for the Democrat. He's going to vote for that cat is going to vote for the Democrat. Probably for the Michigan Supreme Court, the one that would have actually upheld the Secretary of State ban, that would have allowed the Secretary of State to unilaterally make laws that she's not in her purview, not in her authorization. So somebody's got to tell their friend out there who you know isn't even going to vote for Supreme Court, you got to cancel out. Again, Felix was a great cat, but you got to cancel his vote out because he's been dead 10 years. How is this cat still voting? How was the cat ever allowed to vote? But it is because they're sending the ballots out to him right now. It's true. Let's see here. I'm going to scroll back in the chat. I'm always getting behind. That's the question for the ages. Taxation is theft. If it's yours, why should you have to pay taxes on it? I don't know, guys. What was first, the chicken or the egg? All right, I'll get back to you guys in a couple years on that. But no, same type of question here. If it's yours, why would you pay taxes on it? Which begs the other question. Is anything really yours? Or are we just renting it for a small fee from the government? But I will tell you this. Speaking of tax, any of your magazines that are over 10 rounds, any of your firearms that have a barrel shroud to keep you from burning your hands, any that have a grip, any that have the shoulder thing that goes up, retractable stock, flash hider, compensator, get ready to pay some more taxes, ladies and gentlemen, because the Harris-Biden administration is promising that you can either sell them back. That's where the guns are. Beto, yes, I'm going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. That's where he comes into place. Either A, you can sell them back, meaning they'll take them, or if you're lucky enough, you can fill out tons of paperwork. You can come in there. You can pay for your fingerprints. Don't forget that. Those are $15 to $35, depending where you live. Fingerprints, sir. Okay. $30. Okay. Then you wait like a year. I'm sorry. Let me back up. First, you pay the $200 tax stamp. Whether you're approved or not, you pay that. Then you're at their mercy. Then if the good Lord's willing and the creek don't rise, 12 to 14 months later, you'll get your stamp for each and every magazine you have that's considered high capacity, and that'd be anything over 10 rounds or any firearm that has any features. So if you hate taxes now, wow, they're going to have it where you're hating taxes like you've never hated them before. And while the Second Amendment's very important, by the time we're done paying our $200 tax for each magazine and each firearm, unless you want to sell it to Beto for pennies on the dollar, I'm sure, of what you paid for it, will you even be able to afford to go to the range after that? Because the ammunition will be subject to a 50-cent per round tax. The production of ammo will be so messed up by then because of different executive actions, laws, executive action edicts. Like Obama said, I've got my pen and I've got my cell phone. Oh, yeah. Kamala has one of those too. So picture this. Your Taurus G2C. A lot of you guys have that pistol. A lot of you guys like it. And so do I. Comes with 2 magazines. All right, so this would now be called an assault weapon, the gun itself, because it can accept a 10-round magazine, larger than 10 round. You guys that live in one of the banned states, you're not going to luck out. I'm sorry. I wish you would, but those of you that bought the compliant version that came with the 10-round mags, you're still going to have to get a tax stamp for the Taurus G2C because it can accept is how the law reads. The law doesn't read that if the gun currently has larger than 10 rounds in it. Oh, no. Like I said, they learned. They learned from the AWB from 94 to 2004, and they clearly stayed in here. We know how to seal up all the loopholes from the last one. See, that's where they've gotten smarter. They're getting smarter by the day. Where am I? What town am I in? Yeah, that's all true. But when it comes down to it, they're still really smart. They closed that. So your Taurus G2C, whether you got it shipped with a 10-round mag or not, doesn't matter. $200 tax stamp, fingerprints. Submit to the man. Give them your fingerprints. Give them your firstborn, whatever they want. Don't shut up. Don't ask questions, peasant. Do you want to keep this assault weapon or not? Just think about it. You're now dealing with the National Firearms Act. So you pay your $200. Well, it came with 2 mags. Let's just say those were 12-round mags, $200 more. Now you've got $600 in taxes, but that's not enough because if you fill up both mags, 24 rounds, right? That's now $12 in tax just for the 50 cents per round ammo tax that they're wanting to put in place. Wow. But you'll probably be paying $3 a round for 9mm by then because of other things they're going to do. And that's the other topic that I put in the title of this stream. Ammo shortage 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. Depending on who wins this election, maybe. I'm going to start off by saying hopefully not. Hopefully not. But maybe. But you paid $600 in tax stamps on your Taurus G2C with its 2 12-round mags. You spent bare minimum. But I think it's going to be much, much, much worse than this. But bare minimum, you spend another $12 in tax on those 24 rounds. And you're like, darling, I paid my $600 for the taxes. I've paid my $12 in tax for 20 rounds of ammo. Do you want to go to the range? She's like, we can't, honey. Well, why is that? Because I picked our daughter up from school once this week. She had to walk the other 4 days, but we picked her up once this week. And with gas being $7 a gallon, which it probably will be under the Harris-Biden administration, we've now expended our full $20 a week gasoline budget. It used to fill up the whole tank. Now it gets us 3 gallons. We live a long way from school. We didn't want poor little Susie Q to have to walk uphill both days in the snow. Sorry, darling, I spent the whole gasoline budget for the week. So even after they spent their $600 in taxes plus 12 more, they still couldn't get to the range because gas will probably be $7 a gallon too. At the same time, look at your electric bills. Look at your energy. Darling, why don't you have the 2A EDU stream on this Friday? I can't. Well, why not? The wind isn't blowing in the right direction. The wind bill will not power the 2A EDU stream. But then if it's too windy, it blows the cables down and then you lose it too. In all seriousness, though, some of what I said is obviously speculation, but I don't think I'm reaching too far. But the $200 tax for each magazine, for each firearm, that's no joke. Wanting to tax the ammo? Also no joke. Thank you, Mark Corby, for the super chat. I appreciate it, man. I don't want this to be the case, but could you imagine this in 2021? Thank you, Mark Corby. Very generous super chat, by the way. All of you guys are so generous. Just all of you hang out, right? You're generous just to be here, but he just left a generous super chat of $20. Thank you, sir. You've now provided half of a G2C mag of ammunition for my next test. Do we want that? I don't think so. I want 9mm to be back to $8, $10, $12 a box for, full metal jacket planking stuff. I want to go back to Phoenix Ammunition and pay $11 for a box of 50 rounds, which I think that's about what it cost before all his components doubled and his supply of primers ran out to nothing. So when people say the Second Amendment's on the ballot, yeah, it is, but also just our day-to-day life, the way we interact with guns, the way we recreationally shoot, the way we choose to protect our families. Wouldn't it be sad? Because I know this is the case. I talk to a lot of you people. And I've met some people on here who are really rich that are good people, and some people that are really poor and are really good people, right? And they talk about how it took them months to save up for their Taurus G2C. It's true. I know it is. I know you guys aren't lying to me. It took them months to save up for that. And this is when times were good, when the G2C was $159 with rebate, right? Well, hey, some people only make enough to barely make their ends meet every month, and they might only have another $25 extra spending money. So they had to prioritize for 6 to 7 weeks to come up with the money. And I get it. I get it because I've been there myself so many times. And probably by the time this winter's over, I'll be worse than that with the governor in my state, the way she is for small businesses. But I digress. Now imagine they're going to have to come up with a $200 tax stamp per gun and per magazine, $600. What's going to happen if they can't? Well, then they're going to have to go with option A, which is to sell it back to Beto O'Rourke. But here's the problem. Beto's not going to be there to protect them. He's not going to come protect them. Are you kidding me? And even their local police, while they may have the best of intentions and many cops would love to save everyone they can, often they can't. Because when trouble's only seconds away and it's imminent harm or death that could happen within a split second, that's why you need your firearm with you. That's why it's called the right to keep and bear arms. If it was just to keep them, that'd be separate, but it's to keep and bear. For when seconds matter, you can be right there to defend yourself or your family from great bodily harm, imminent threats of rape or loss of life. At least that's how the laws work in Michigan here. No, the cop's going to come to usually write a report of what actually happened. And while police do have the duty to protect society at large, the Supreme Court's already decided, and there's precedence on this, that no individual cop has the duty, and they don't legally have to protect any one individual person at any given time. So yeah, Beto will buy your guns back if you can't afford to pay these onerous taxes that could burden some working class people for months. I'm not making this up, and maybe some of you guys are in the chat right now, and I'm sure you are. Look, I'm not a rich guy. Most of my friends are broke as I am. I get it. But they're going to have to save up for months to pay the $600 in taxes, and a lot of them aren't going to be able to. So some people are going to say, well, guess what? Trump's a terrible person, and so is Biden. And that may be the case. I'm not saying it is, but it could be. But I don't see Trump trying to put a $200 tax on all your guns and magazines. And I don't see Mike Pence trying to round up your guns. I'm just saying. We used to figuratively say that, like, they're coming after our guns, and people would be like, no, they're not literally coming after your guns, man. No. Beto said, yes, I'm going to take your AR-15 and your AK-47. He literally said it. He said it with vigor. He yelled it at the top of his lungs. And Biden got on stage and said, if you elect me president, he'll be my gun czar. And then when they asked him in an interview, are you coming to take guns? He said, if it's an assault weapon, you're dang straight I will. But assault weapon doesn't mean what these, quote, reasonable people might think it means, because people don't bother to read this. Your Taurus G2C with a 12 that comes with two 12-round magazines would be counted as 3 separate machine guns, assault weapons, and have to be registered under the National Firearms Act and paid a $200 tax each. And good luck paying the tax on the ammo, and at that point in time, good luck even finding ammo. The Reptile Guys with another super chat. Thanks a lot, man. He said economy will go back to what it used to be. Start sending China everything again. He wants to open up to free trade with people that are using slave labor. Yep. He basically wants to do the Clinton administration is how I look at it, right? Is that what you're getting at? Yeah. Even with this flu. Look, no disrespect to anyone that has it or anyone that has the regular flu, because that's life-threatening too, right? Of course it is, but look, I was watching Catherine Henry's video yesterday. Constitutional attorney Catherine Henry, and my friend. And hello, Catherine and family, if you guys are watching, by the way. But she went through. She said, according to the CDC, they put all of the flu and then the other flu. They put all the symptoms down. She was reading them all through a list. Like, look, she read it better than me. She's a lawyer, not me. She was reading through all of them, right? She found like one difference. So this flu, the other flu, or any other likewise. Even with that economy, the economy's still up. That's what's crazy about all this. That's what's crazy about all this. And you know what else? When the president was in my state of Michigan today, and when he was there a couple days ago, and I was out in the rain watching him, he said, guys, you got to open the state back up again. You got to get your governor to open the state up. You got to open it back up. The cure cannot be worse than the disease. We're turning the corner. Things are going to get brighter. Things are going to get better. We will beat this. There's remedies. There's cures. I'm going to try to get the cure out to as many people as possible for free. This is literally what he said. He's like, they gave me this drug. It was called whatever. I can't even remember now. I'm going to try to make that available free to everybody as soon as possible. You know what the other guy said? If you elect me, this will be a very dark winter. A very, very dark winter. And yeah, we are going to need to lock down the country again. Look, you can't always get exactly what you want, but I will maintain this again. I'm not going to apologize for saying this. Well, people are really getting sick. I'm not making light of that. You cannot let the cure kill more people than the disease. And I thought that's what I heard presidential candidate Biden saying. He said this is going to be a very, very dark winter. You know what my daughter asked me? She said, Daddy, does that mean dark, like as in like the Headless Horseman? And I said, actually, yeah. She goes, like, you know, I said, well, quite frankly, actually, yeah. She goes, that's really scary. I said, yeah, it is actually scary. And that is kind of what I see. The way he looked right into the camera. Stone cold face. He's rich, by the way, guys. Very rich. How did he get all of his money? I don't know. Where's Hunter? And he looked dead into the camera and he said, this will be a very dark winter. That's not what I'm looking forward to. I'm sorry. That's not like what I'm looking forward to at all. So, there you go. Let me take another quick peek at the chat here. And there's going to be some people that completely and utterly disagree with me, and that's totally fine if you guys do. You can try to cancel me too, but it won't work. I'm just going to speak what my truths are, and then you're a full-grown man or lady. You'll decide for yourself. But that's what I heard him say. I heard the former vice president, very wealthy man, by the way, extremely wealthy. Wow, extremely wealthy. He talked about how dark it's going to be. Yeah. And the president says, no, we will get through this. You guys can decide. I don't like the Headless Horseman. I think that's kind of scary. I don't want somebody in there as president in name only. See, here's the problem, guys. As liberal as he is. Look, Joe's not a moderate. If anyone says he is, they're either confused or they're just listening to the lies. Hate to say it, maybe they're even lying to you. He's not a moderate. He's very far to the left. He stood up and said, this is my gun czar. This is Beto. I'm going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. What about my friend Jerry Wayne, who you guys have seen in videos with me before? Now, again, Joe, where am I? Who am I? Blah, blah, blah. He said he was going to take his AR-14 when he stood up to him in that factory in Michigan. Jerry Wayne called him out. And in typical Biden fashion, he finally acted like a tough guy. He offered to take him out back. Whew. He's lucky Jerry's such a nice guy. I don't think Jerry would have had much of a problem, do you? Jerry Wayne wouldn't have had a lot of problem with Uncle Joe, but he took the high ground and actually got him to debate a little bit. And of course, what did Joe Biden do? He showed his true colors that he does want to take your AR-15. He just couldn't get it out right, and he called it an AR-14, which is funny to make fun of him in a way, and it would be funny, except for it's not, because it's actually true. He's not a moderate. But even if he was, does anyone really think he knows where he's at or he's running for president? I don't think so. Well, Kamala Harris, it's pretty clear where she stands. This guy see her on that Fox interview. Literally, they said, you vote the most left. Bernie Sanders all of a sudden looks like conservative, okay? Bernie Sanders looks like a Thomas Massey, okay? In comparison to Kamala Harris. Now, poor Bernie, he never had a chance. I don't like Bernie either. Definitely don't want him to be the president. But hey, just to call a spade, he never had a chance. First, Hillary cheated him really badly. Hillary cheated him so bad, it's not, they have no shame, look. Then Harris Biden cheated him. Even Bernie Sanders is a staunch conservative. Humor me here. He is, though. He's a staunch conservative if and only if you compare him to would-be President Kamala Harris. And when she was called out on it, she didn't deny it. She just started laughing, and it was a menacing laugh, and it was a cackling laugh. And I don't know what would be scarier to somebody, the Headless Horseman or that laugh, but I think I'd have to take my chances with the Headless Horseman before I want to take my chances with her and that menacing laugh. What do you guys think? Who's scary, the Kamala Harris laugh or the Headless Horseman? Yes, Gary, thank you for reminding me of that. He also said, I don't work for you. Yeah, Jerry lives near me. We ran into each other at the Steven Crowder rally. We were hanging out right next to the stage. We had a good conversation for a while that day when we got the two questions we want to know here, guys, in the state of Michigan. Gretchen, how many seniors? How big's your toll? How many, Gretchen? Tell us, how many? Crowder's trying to find out. Many people are. She's making it very difficult, but how many seniors? And by the way, where's Hunter? Those are the two things, if we can figure out, we could actually get somewhere with this. Where's Hunter and how many seniors? I think I just heard Hunter out there, actually. All right, I'm going to go find Hunter. I'll be back in 5 minutes. If you guys have any good questions, I'll be right back. Actually, I need a drink. But if I do find Hunter, I'll let you know. Where's Hunter? Yes, look at that. Seven Wonders is right. I'm sick and tired of it. That is fake news because I've never heard Trump say anything other than my plan will cover pre-existing conditions. I've never heard him one time, okay, say anything different. Yeah, that laugh's very scary, guys. See, I told you. People call her many things. Look at Barry Austin in here. You guys think I'm making this up when I'm like, the governor of Michigan, they call her many things, and then I usually have to pause. I'm like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Like, look, you ever see those things where like it's a computer screen, it shows all the ones and zeros? Brrr. So I'm like, what should we call the governor today? That's literally what goes through my head. Brrr. I'm like, oh, in a second, like the 365,000 things they call her rushes through my head. Same thing for Kamala. Barry Austin calls her one thing. See, people even spell it different ways. Here's how I spell it real quick, guys, and I'll be right back. Camel, C-A-M-E-L dash like U-H. C-A-M-E-L dash U-H. Camel, like the dromedary, And that's how she pronounced it the other day. That's how Sleepy pronounced it the other day. So I think that's the one I'm going to go with. But I'll be right back in 2 seconds, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I found Hunter. Whew. I found Hunter. Wow. Here's how I can prove it. I can prove it 3 different ways. First of all, I found Hunter. Second of all, I can't remember her name, but she was definitely Russian, or maybe Ukrainian. No, she was Russian. Don't tell my wife, but she was Russian. And third of all, look. Darling, we're going out to dinner. Where's Hunter? I just found him. I told you guys he was out there. Look. Now, darling, if you're watching, we can't spend all this in one place. I found Hunter. He was out there. Here's how I found him. All I could hear as I was out there, I was walking in from the other door, and all I could hear was, I was like, whoa. It used to be cold out, but it's pretty warm out now. So I followed the heat. And her name was, I don't remember her name. She was Russian. We're never going to have to work again. Where's Hunter? I just found him. So I think we're going to be good now, guys. I think we're going to be good. All right. Don't worry, darling. Don't worry, darling. I'd never cheat. It wasn't cheating. She was from Russia. So it wasn't cheating. She was a Russian bot. What can I say? She was a Russian bot. Earth, welcome to the chat. You know what? As Reagan said, this isn't my quote. This is Ronald Reagan. It's a time for choosing. You can decide. You can trust him if you want. Do I personally hang out with him? No, I don't know the man. However, I will tell you this. Look at this. If you're new to the channel, I talked about 2 hours about this last week. This is called the Biden plan to end our gun violence epidemic. It's called Chuck Schumer. He's saying he's going to expand statehood. He's going to what's called pack the courts. Okay? Amy Coney Barrett can't save us, first of all. She didn't give us our rights either, by the way. These are God-given rights, endowed by our Creator. You know, natural rights. But if you thought Amy Coney Barrett could save you, not if he packs the court. Pelosi. She's for everything Chuck is. I mean, she's got some of that where am I, what's going on, but trust me, make no mistake. She comes through. She's a wise old sage when it comes time to take the guns and pack the court. Then all of a sudden, she's right with it. Okay? So, you guys can decide. And a lot of people are going to say, well, Trump's a flawed human being. Sure, he's a flawed human being. Aren't we all? But Trump's done worse things than I have or you have, you'll say to yourself. I get it. I get it. What do you guys think Biden's up to? You think he's a choir boy? I don't know. He may sing in the church choir. I'm not sure. Where am I? Where am I, darling? You're in church. Oh, okay. It's time to take communion. No, sir. You can't have communion. I heard they won't even give him communion at his own church. You can decide if that means anything to you or not. Some of you might think that's good. Some of you, that might bother you. I don't know. That's up for you guys to decide. But I will tell you this. He did tell Jerry Wayne as one of the viewers. Reminded me earlier. He said, I don't work for you. He did say that. And I think that's what he means. Drunks and children and people with, unfortunately, medical conditions where they're losing their minds sometimes do slip up and tell the truth once in a while, right? I think he was telling the truth when he said, I don't work for you. Does he work for Putin? You guys can decide that. Does he work for President Xi? He might. Where's Hunter? Who's Hunter work for? The mayor of Moscow. Ask Hunter if you can find him where that $3 million came from. I'm just saying. 18 angry Democrats and Mueller spent millions of taxpayers' dollars and went after Trump for a couple years. And they found nothing except for a perfectly acceptable, appropriate phone call with the Ukraine president. I'm just saying, that's what they found. And there's people that are going to come in here and they're going to unsub from this video. They're going to teach 2A EDU a lesson. And they're going to give me thumbs downs. And they're going to learn me something. I'm going to learn you something, boy. I just came here for the gun content, they'll say. And I'm going to train you and I'm going to teach you. Well, again, you might be new here, but I'm not new. You're not going to train me. You're not going to teach me anything because people like my friend Brastard and Mateo and Matt Morrison and I think he's in here somewhere, Cave Dave, and probably Orion Fixer's lurking, and not too much after that, people like Seven Wonders, and you guys have been around a long time, and here's the problem. Everyone wants to teach me something. Have your fun, guys. Do it. It's fine. Whatever. I had like none. I had like 17 subs when I did my first stream, and I did it the same way I do now. So I'll give you guys a deal. All the haters out there, I'll give you a deal. Because I'm not a numbers person. I said this to start the stream. And I'm going to end it this way. And then I'll read some of you guys' questions if you have them, okay? I'm not a math major. I cut grass for a living, okay? I'm not a numbers person. Do you guys remember when 2A EDU did his 500 sub video? Do you guys remember that one? Wasn't it an awesome video? It was so good, I can't find it. What about my 1,000 subs video? Did you guys like that one? Try to find that one. Certainly, there was a 5,000 subs video. That was the grand finale. Go back and watch that. And let me know next week how much you liked that one. The 10,000 one. Remember? What about the 20,000? What about the 25,000 sub video I did? That must have been one for the record books. It was so great, I can't find that one either. So here's the deal I'll make for you guys. All of you guys that have been with me the whole time, I'm about to strike a deal with the devil. I'm going to make a deal with all the cancel culture. If enough people unsub from this video to where I get down to 16 subs, because I had 17 when I did my first stream. If you can get me down to 16 subs from this one video, I'll never stream again. If not, I'll come back on here because I really don't care. And I give you guys all the encouragement. Just be yourself. Look, if you're a Joe Biden supporter, it hurts to say this. No, I don't care. If you're a Joe Biden supporter, look, just do it. I don't care if all your gun friends are making you feel bad and telling you how stupid you are. Well, you might be pretty stupid, but hey, just own it and live up to it. You know what I'm saying? Live up to it. I roasted Trump like probably nobody did on YouTube. Nobody but maybe possibly. Except for Abraham Lincoln. Nobody roasted Trump more. And what he did with bump stocks, and that was wrong, but I'm voting for him because nobody's perfect. But look, here's the deal. If I could vote for JBN Water too, do I think he would compromise at all? Do I think he would go after the bump stocks or do this? No, he wouldn't do either. And if he was running for president and he was on the ticket and he was neck and neck within less than the margin of error right now, because that's where President Trump is. They're neck and neck, guys. I know they are. If he was neck and neck with Biden and Trump in a three-way race, I would vote for him right now, but he's not running. And if I ran for president and actually made it up on the big stage, you know, won the primaries, let me tell you what, it'd be all gone no matter what. But I'm not running either, and neither are you. And that's where we're at right now. And I'm trying to do a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. I'm trying to do a lot at my state level, my local level. I'm trying to help. Look, I'm not anybody, but if all of us do it, like, maybe I'm like 1/300th of a nobody. So if 300 of us nobodies do something, we might get a little something done. I'm trying to fundamentally change this country back to how it was intended to be. So am I going to expect Trump to be perfect in the next 4 years? No. Is he going to say something I don't like? You betcha he's going to, of course, right? Just like some of us might say stuff in here we don't like. Trump might even do something stupid with the ATF to screw us over in the next year. I don't know. I'm not saying he will, but he could. But could you imagine under the Harris-Biden administration? And this is a true story. Go back and look at my comments because some people might be new here, but I'm not new here, and I do read the comments. If it gets a heart by me, that means I read it. I just couldn't quite have enough time to give out a reply. But if you look in just the last video alone, I must have responded to 100 of you guys. Like, it's proven. I read what you say. And I believe the people that are in comments that said I saved up for a couple months to buy my G2C. And the Harris-Biden administration is promising you $600 in taxes just alone on the firearm and its magazines. And that's going to punish poor people. And it's going to punish the middle-class people. I'm going to tell you something else I've noticed. And the media won't show all of it. And here's what's funny. I had to do 3 streams, which sucked. I'm sorry, guys, that it was choppy. Look, there's nothing else I can do. I paid my cell phone bill. It's an expensive plan. It's a new phone. They were jamming up cell phone signals. But you guys got the gist of it. I was showing the stream of the crowd at the Trump rally in Lansing, and it was very inspiring to me. And it was the footage that the fake news won't show you. And some people tried to teach me a lesson in there. And here's the funny thing. Half of them came back already. They leave. We're gone. We're out of here. You supported President Trump. We'll never come back. All right. Don't let the door hit you in the butt. Like, cool, whatever. And here's why I say whatever, because half of them were in my last video saying, dude, that was an awesome ammunition video. Like, I totally left, but now I'm back. Look, half of them already came back. So it's like, whatever. Welcome back. Now they're gone now again, but then they'll be back because there's some pretty cool videos that are coming out next week, especially over on my Patreon. I'm going to pull the Hunter Biden quid pro quo. I'm only going to put up my good videos on my Patreon from here on out. No, I'm just joking, but I do give you guys over there a lot of insider info on deals I find out about. But anyways, you see, here's something else I noticed. You notice Biden, he comes out. Where am I? What am I doing? Over here, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Joe Biden. And I want you to elect me to the United States Senate. This is my daughter. This is my wife. What's that? Where am I? Who? Oh, this is my daughter. This is my wife. Sorry, honey. Sorry I got you confused. I'm sleeping with them both. But you know what I mean? I see this. It's like, you look at this. Now, I'll tell you what I saw in Michigan. I didn't get into the rally. I wanted to show you guys what it looked like outside the rally, because here's what I thought. I'm going to tell you 2 things I noticed at that rally in Lansing. Keep in mind this whole time, 37 degrees, raining out. Freezing cold. Look it. These were brand new signs given to me by the Trump campaign team. See how warped they are? This is from just being out in the rain for hours. And okay. Miserable day weather-wise. I said, you know what? You know, The Apprentice, clearly he's an actor. You know, he's had a Hollywood presence before. WWE Hall of Fame, professional wrestler. You guys get the point, right? Which I thought that was funny when he did the wrestling. That was a good one, when he shaved McMahon's head. I did like that. Never been a huge wrestling fan, but I liked that. It was funny. Anyways, whenever you see Trump at these rallies and he says, look at this crowd, and he goes, wow, 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 like this is insane. And you just hear the crowd like going, the crowd in Michigan today, Waterford, Oakland County Airport. Oh my gosh, insane. Like you could see the cameras shaking from the fake news, like the crowd had the place rumbling. But I digress. Every time he gets up there, including in Lansing in the freezing rain, he says, look at this place. It's packed. It's sold out. Like I got he leased out an airport hangar. That's not big enough. Then he's like, there's even more people outside that couldn't get in. There's more outside than what got in, and there's more people in than there's ever been at a rally ever. Like when he says that, I'm like, well, come on. He has to be joking. That's the Hollywood in him. Just, you know. No, it's actually true. It's true because The rally was essentially already filled up when I was walking for miles outside, tape recording all that the other day. Now, people were still getting into a point, but a lot of people never made it in. So when Trump says there's more people outside in the parking lot than there is in this sold-out arena, I have no reason to believe he's lying, because I just saw it, and that's when it was 37 degrees. And you know what else I saw? So sometimes Air Force One, it taxis right up right behind the stage, right? They play his intro song, okay? And he just starts walking down off the plane. And by the time he gets up there on the stage, he's got about a minute of the song left, right? And then he starts to speak. Well, if you notice at that one in Lansing, the plane couldn't park right behind. The plane was kind of off to the side. Now, a bunch of us that couldn't get in, meaning it was to capacity. Like, you couldn't even get anybody more in there. We were off to the side. Well, his plane was off to the side, and we could see a clear shot of him. And my friend Jeremy was with me. He got pictures of him. Better than I did, actually. And you see the president get off. Now, in this case, he doesn't just have to walk a couple hundred feet. He had to walk hundreds of yards. So you see the limousine pulled right up with Secret Service. And they open up the door, and you can see him. Here, sir. Like, get in the limousine. We'll drive you the hundreds of yards, right? And we can see him plain as day. You watch him. They open the door, sir, right here. And he goes, nah. And he walked. And you just look, and there's the president of the United States. Winds blowing. 37 degrees, pouring rain, raining on him, and he just keeps walking. You see Secret Service try again. And this is before the fake news started picking it up. This is what I saw in real life. And they said, sir, no, get in the limousine. Well, the song ran out. He's still walking, so they started the song over a second time. He finally got up to the stage. Then they tried to give him an umbrella, and he goes, nah, I don't want the umbrella. And he got up and he said, these people have been waiting out here in the freezing rain for hours. The least I could do is walk all the way from the plane up there. This is a man that's 74 years old that came down with the flu, got over it in like 3 days, mind you. 3 days. His son, they said, had it for, 12 minutes is what I heard the president say, and he got over it. The first lady got over it. He walked that whole way in the freezing rain when he had a whole slew of Secret Service. He could have jumped in the limousine. He could have had someone hold an umbrella for him, and he didn't do it. And then you've got the other one there. He just put a lid on it, they're saying. They keep saying that. He's put a lid on it. He's sitting in his basement. Darling, where am I? Where am I? Welcome. I love New Hampshire. Sir, you're not in New Hampshire. You're in Vermont. Oh, I love Vermont. Yeah. I just see such a contrast right now. I see such a contrast. And it's like, really? Who do you want? Like, again, 74 years old. He caught the flu, recovered from it, headstrong, just walked right through that rain blowing in his face. Trust me, it was freezing out there. Go back and watch my stream. I was dropping my water bottle while I was filming it because your fingers go numb after a while. He's like, no, I'm not going to take a limousine while all of my people are standing out here freezing their butts off. I don't know. It sounds kind of corny, but that actually meant a lot to me. Did anyone else think the same thing when you were there in Lansing and saw that? Does anyone else get kind of worried when they see the other one come out and he's like, who am I? Where am I? I'm running for the United States Senate. He's always got his eyes closed and he's just so sleepy. But let me tell you something. When I was out there in Lansing, I'm watching. I'm like, there's no way. There's 50, there's 60, there's 70,000 people here total. Now, they said there was 30,000 people. Yeah, that's when it sold out. But then there's all the people that were in their cars walking down the road because there were miles of cars parked. All the people off to the side that formed their own separate crowd. I don't know. I'm not a numbers guy. Like I said earlier, I'm not good at math. Tens and tens and tens and thousands of people there, right? Bling, my phone gets the alert. It's the news. I'm like, oh, what do we have here? The Detroit Free Press is now reporting that despite a rather anemic, small crowd in Lansing, Biden just shored up his lead and went up from 8% to 8.5%. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Don't let the polls mislead you and think that you don't have a chance because he's already lost. It's not true, and here's why it's not true. Biden officially about 5 days ago, it's what's called putting a lid on it. He said, I'm not going to leave the basement forever. I'm just going to sit in the basement. That's how I'm going to run for president. Okay. people said, well, that's because he's winning by so much. Well, that's interesting because now, tomorrow, Joe Biden's coming to Michigan, along with Barack Hussein Obama. Barack Hussein is coming to Michigan. With Sleepy Joe. Barack, where am I? Where am I? Just shut up and let me do the talking, Joe. Now, keep in mind, Obama didn't even endorse him right up to the last minute. Okay? There's reasons he didn't do that, trust me. Didn't endorse him, but now he's like, Mr. Hussein, where am I? Barack Hussein, where am I? You're in Michigan, shut up. Michigan? How did I get here? Here, take some more Adderall. Whatever they do, it's sick. These people are sick. Why is he coming to Michigan? Why has Trump been in Michigan twice this week? And rumor has it he's coming back twice. That's because this vote is so close right now. Literally, it's close enough that I could even count it. Michigan's in play. I know it is. I'm not a pollster. You don't need to be a pollster. He put a lid on it. He wasn't going to leave the basement. The fact that he's even leaving the basement, Biden, and Trump's coming back. It'll be 3 or 4 or maybe 5 times this week he's coming to Michigan. That means Michigan's in play. So look, vote for who you want to vote for, but do not stay home if you happen to be a Trump supporter because you think he doesn't have a chance. Trust me, Trump does have a chance in Michigan. Am I going to say Trump's won Michigan no matter what? No, he's not. He's not. Look, guys, this is seriously how I look at it right now, okay? Seriously how I look at it. It's 4th and 20. The ball's on the 20-yard line. You're either going home for the season, you're down by 6. You're either going home for the season, off the field as a loser, or you're going to have to hit that 20 yards. You got one play and kick the extra point. That's literally where it's at right now. Don't think for 1 minute Trump is ahead enough. In many of the swing states, especially right now and including Michigan, to stay home because the votes could be in the hundreds this time, in the thousands. He won Michigan by 10,000 votes in 2016. So no, it's not a slam dunk either way. And if it was, trust me, Biden would not be leaving that basement. Same thing is going to apply for other states right now, like Pennsylvania. So anyone that's in Pennsylvania, everything I just said applies to you too. Wisconsin, you're in the same exact boat. Why are they going to Wisconsin so much right now? Why are they going to Florida? They say Biden's leading in Florida. They're showing Florida as light blue. I don't think so. But don't be cocky enough to stay home either. Florida. What about Texas? Look, I think Trump's going to win Texas. However, don't stay home because that's the one way Texas could have one of the biggest upsets of the century. What about the state of Georgia? Anyone from Georgia hanging out? They're saying Georgia's now officially gone blue. Trump's behind. Again, I don't think so. What about the great state of Ohio? Our southern neighbor here in Michigan. Same thing. It's too close to count. But especially Michigan. Look, just follow what they're doing here. It costs them a lot of money to make these trips. Barack Hussein Obama and company and crew are coming to Michigan tomorrow. Trump was here today. I think he's coming back tomorrow. I think Sunday. Those I have to confirm. Look, I was working all day. Some viewers have been giving me some info on that. Michigan's too close to count. Literally, somebody watching this right now could be the deciding vote in Michigan. Same thing probably goes through for Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, maybe even Minnesota. Anyone from Minnesota watching? You guys have gone Democrat for 50 years, but that's too close to count. Now, I think we're looking a little better in Ohio. We're looking a little better in Florida, Texas, Georgia, but don't take any of those for granted either. Not whatsoever. You've got New Hampshire. Look, there's a lot of states that are swing states. Let's go out to the west and look at Nevada. Let's look at Arizona. Too close to call. You've got the McSally, Mark Kelly race out in Arizona for Senate. Look at Kelly, him and his wife. They're head of like probably the biggest gun grab, anti-gun organization in the whole country. That's something also. If you're in Arizona, that election's huge. Look who's running for the United States Senate. The former astronaut, right? I think they call him Mark Kelly. They call him a bunch of things too. It's hard to keep track. Yeah, him and his wife have like one of the worst gun grabbing organizations in the country. So, look, there's not going to be a presidential race every day. I'm not going to be talking about the presidential race every week, but I wanted to tonight because literally it could come down to, in some of these states, just the amount of people watching right now could swing one of these states. I literally think it's that close. Trump won Michigan by 10,700, I think it was. 10,712 votes. I could be off by a couple. In 2016, well, this year they're trying to cheat like they've never cheated before. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends. Now, hey, vote how you want. That could bite me by saying that. You could be sitting here watching saying, well, I'm a Biden voter. Thanks for reminding me. I need to get my Biden friends out to vote. Yeah, maybe. But I'm going to go down trying, or I'm going to celebrate the victory that I was part of. One of the two. People are going to want to know my prediction. It's too close to decide, guys. It's 4th and 20 on the 20-yard line. No timeouts left, and that's literally where we're at. I think Trump's behind right now. Okay? There you go. I don't think, we, meaning the Trump voter, I don't think we're the ones that are up by 6 playing defense. No, the Harris-Biden administration's on defense right now. They're up by 6. Okay? We've got Tom Brady as the quarterback. We've got a Hall of Fame receiver, so there's a chance. But we need to throw that 20-yard pass and connect in the end zone and kick the extra point, and I think Trump wins. That's literally where I think we're at right now. I do think Trump's behind. He's behind, too close to call. But I do think Trump's behind right now. I'm not saying that as any doom and gloom, but here's the thing. He's not so far behind that you need to give up. He's behind where you need to get off your butts and get your neighbors and friends involved. So that's my final statement on that. Trump is behind right now. Okay? But it's definitely doable, or he would not be coming back to Michigan 4 times in a week. And Barack Hussein Obama and company would not be coming to Michigan. Same thing, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. I just listed, there's about 10 swing states, but I just named the big ones right there. Iowa. Shout out to everyone in Iowa too. But right now, I think it's going to come down to Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin are the ones that he's behind. Trump's behind right now, but definitely within reach. That's truly what I think. See, these parties, these candidates, they know the true poll. Trust me. The media will say, Biden just went 10 points up in Michigan. Well, if that's the case, then why is Trump coming to Michigan every day? And now Biden, he put a lid on it, remember? I will not leave the basement, he said 5 days ago. He's now come out of the basement. You had Barack Hussein Obama in Florida the other day. That means Florida's closed. Yes, Trump took Florida. I get that last time. Don't take it for granted, Florida. Obviously, Biden, he may be the one that's down a touchdown on the 20-yard line in Florida, but he's still in striking distance too. So just follow the candidates. Where are they going in these last couple days? And that will tell you how much your state's truly in play. Look, I might get fired if I was a pundit. I get it. You guys might be laughing at everything I'm saying, but that's what I'm going to go with. Follow where they're going to, and that shows you what's truly in play and what the true, final 4th and 20 pass is going to be. Sorry for the football analogy. I like football, not like the NFL because they kneel for the flag and for the national anthem, but there's a lot more to football than just the NFL. So just because I gave the football analogy does not mean I haven't watched an NFL game at all since they started doing that crap, to be honest. But I still like high school football and a lot of the college. Let's see here. Jared DeBoer with the super chat. Thank you, sir. He says, theory, Pelosi and Clinton were the twins from The Shining who grew up to have Whitmer and Harris. Oh, geez. The Stanley is the USA, Trump 2020, Pence Noem 2024. That would intrigue me. That would be nice. I would like that. Wow. Pence. I think Pence would be an awesome president, and I hope he does run for president in 2024. Pence, Cruz, Paul, there's some real good ones, okay? Some real good ones, and others. 2024. But geez, I think Pelosi is related to Gavin Newsom, though. So there you go. That was a funny super chat. Thanks, man. Let's see here. I saw another one from Let's see here. You guys probably think I'm way off about my predictions, right? Or a lot of you guys just using the same common sense I am. Like, look at where they're going. That shows who's still in play, right? The Reptile Guys, thank you, sir, for the super chat. He says, Biden's not the only one that sold out to China. Look how Bloomberg invested $200 million in this election. Yes, sir. Don't forget about Bloomberg for 1 minute. Look, when we say the Harris-Biden administration, we're talking about Bloomberg. We're talking about Pelosi, Schumer. We're talking about George Soros. Where's Hunter? Where is Hunter? Right? The digital device from you-know-what, as they call it. Where's he at? Where's the mayor of Moscow? You're right. Follow the money, man. That's who you're voting for, all these people. They're all together. They're all together. I'll tell you what, I'm sure Trump Jr. is no choir boy, although I haven't really found any dirt on the guy. He actually might be. But at least you can see him. I just saw Trump Jr. out on the campaign trail on TV, but where's Hunter? Seriously, I know people say it like it's a joke, but it's not a joke. When we say, where's Hunter? Follow the trail. Follow where Hunter's at, and you'll see. How tough is the Harris-Biden administration going to be able to be? President Xi Jinping and Sleepy Joe, he's going to be sitting there at the table. Where am I? Where am I? Jill. My name's Joe Biden, and my name's Joe Biden. President Xi, what do you need? I want this new bill that's going to totally wipe out the U.S. economy and give all your money to China. Heck no, we're not going to do that. You sure, Mr. President? Flips out a digital device. Where was Hunter last night, sir? Oh, give me that. Hold on, Mr. President. Sign the bill. Sign the United States transfers all of its wealth to China document here, and then I'll give you the device. You can't make me do that. That's blackmail. Sir. Where's Hunter? All right, give me the paper. Let me sign it. Scary thought, isn't it? Very scary thought. This whole time, President Trump's been on the stump for months. Where's Hunter? Where's Hunter? I think there's been some revelations where we now know where he was, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. For Biden, if he were elected, to be able to negotiate with President Xi or with President Putin or Kim Jong-un, it's going to be tough. You know, most people would choose their family when they're down, when their chips are down. It's going to be tough. How's he going to stick up for the United States' best interest? This stuff worries me. This stuff worries me. So, yeah. Yeah, that's the real story today. Well, right now I'm focusing on election 2020 because I will say this. President Trump actually wrote some executive orders that told them they're not allowed to do that. Does he need to rein them in? Absolutely he needs to. Will he rein them in? I don't know. Look, there's a lot to cover. I've been on for 2 hours. I'm going to get off. If that's a better story than what I was talking about, then I'd suggest you do that on your channel. I can only cover so much at once, though. And there's an election coming up in just a couple days. Notice nobody cares about Obama anymore. Yeah. He's running around. He's in Michigan. He's in Florida. He's all over the place. Yeah. So I don't know. Somebody's saying Trump hasn't got a prayer. I think you're asking someone else here. Yeah, you guys are probably debating between each other back and forth whether Trump has a chance or not. Look, I never said Trump doesn't have a prayer. Guys, listen to me carefully. And you guys are probably having debates, you know, between yourselves, which is totally awesome. I don't care. Look, I didn't say that Trump's going to lose. I didn't say that. Look, I think Trump's going to win only if people really get out there. I think he's a little bit down right now. Now, keep in mind, Trump doesn't have to just win fair and square. I think there's going to be a lot of corrupt stuff, a lot of crazy stuff going on behind the scenes. He'll probably have to win by enough that after you get This one got rigged. That one got rigged. These got thrown away. They found some in the creek here, in the dumpster there. There was a fire recently where a ballot box was set on fire. I mean, you got to remember, all this stuff was at play. Felix the cat. Don't forget that. He was a good cat. And he was a loving animal. And he probably would have voted for Joe Biden, except for he died 10 years ago. And he is a cat. Keep in mind, people's pets will be voting. All kinds of people will be voting. People, animals. You know what I'm saying? People that aren't even people. Like I said, no disrespect against the animals, but they're not supposed to vote. So, yeah. Please do not take me the wrong way. I'm telling you the exact opposite. I hope it encourages you to vote. That I think Trump's down by this much right now. Okay? But I've seen it happen. That's what happened in 2016. He's not down 8 points in Michigan, but he's not leading by 8 points either. Let me tell you what. Trump would not be coming to Michigan 4 or 5 times in the last week if he was up by 8 points. He'd be focusing more or less, just say, on Minnesota, where he might be actually down by 1 or 2, right? Sure. But let me tell you what. Would Barack Hussein Obama and crew be coming to Michigan if they were truly up by 8 points, like all the fake news says they are? I don't think so. I don't think Barack Hussein Obama and company are up by 8 points in Michigan, or they wouldn't be coming either. It literally comes down to this. We're not losing by enough where we should just stay home, but we're also not winning by enough where we should just get cocky and stay home. This is the true definition. If there was never one before, 2020 is the definition of the phrase. This is too close to call. And I'm going to leave it at that. So I wish all of you guys well. Do what you got to do. Hopefully you guys have already voted. And I'm not telling you how to vote. I'm just telling you it is too close to call. And Sony Soprano, who actually has some good videos up, by the way. How do I leave a link to the Sony Soprano channel? I'd like to do that from that rally. Does anybody have it? Can one of the moderators help me with that real quick here? Yeah, Sony Soprano actually was right there. Now look, the avatar, I have to cover it up. But Candace Sharon, yeah, it is a hot mess. Tap Rock and Roll, how's it going? Finally, we've been on. What's up, girl? 2 hours and 13 minutes in. She finally graces us with her presence. Nice to see you. She was 2 hours and 15 minutes late, but she graced us with her presence in the nick of time, ladies and gentlemen. And now you guys are all going to laugh at me. She's like, what the heck? She was probably in here earlier when I was on a rant for 30, 40 minutes and wasn't saying hi to anybody, but whatever. So basically, Susan sucks nowadays, okay? It used to be where I could just right-click on someone's channel and go to it. Now I can't go to it. She just admitted she was late. Luna does. Right to defend yourself. And even if it turns out to become the Wild West again, 2A is about standing up against even your president if they try to force your rights. I think you're saying take your rights. Your spelling isn't the best, but I think I know what you're getting at. Yeah. Like I said, look, I don't know how long you've been around the channel. Go back to when Trump pulled the bump stock crap. I was just as hard on him as anybody. And I still am, and I still hope he loses the lawsuit, by the way. But trust me, I get it. Let's see here. Susan's got me all behind in here. There used to be a feature where I could just post. I could right-click on somebody's name, go to channel. They don't do that anymore. So if you guys know how to do it, Sony Soprano had some up-close videos of that rally that I was standing outside giving you guys the B-roll footage on. Reptile Guys with a super chat. Thank you very much. He says, hey, What's he saying here? Hey, tubing, don't be getting off in front of us all. Oh, boy. No, I meant I'm going to get off. Like, I'm going to get out of here. Trust me. After seeing that picture of the governor, the whatever she is, it ain't going to work again for days. Well, maybe days, but trust me. There you go. I'll give everybody a chance. There we go. Somebody disagrees with me. That's good. They probably gave me a thumbs down too, but there's more where that came from with Trump. You'll see. Well, then in that case, Money Mar, I would suggest you vote for this. Vote for this if that's what your conscience says. Just don't come back to me when you say, man, I was here. Money Mar is going to come in and say, man, I wish you just would have stuck to the G2C video. But here's the problem, man. You won't like my G2C video. Because unless you can afford the $600 tax stamp from your man Biden here, you're not even going to have it anymore. Look, there's not going to be any more gun videos on this channel if this stuff goes through. Do you guys really think I can afford to spend $200 tax stamp on all these guns and magazine? No. So for those of you that say, dude, it's all about the guns, blah, 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 cry me a river. I'm a patriot. I'm going to stand up for my country. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry. There are going to be no more guns on this channel or anybody's channel, except for the rich people who are paid shills and aren't even going to give you an honest review anyways, because regular people like me will never be able to give you another gun review again because I can't afford the $200 tax on every single magazine and gun and a 50-cent tax on all the rounds of ammo. So for everybody who says it's just about the guns, come on, man. Corn Pop was a bad dude, but I wasn't born yesterday, and I'm not an idiot. And by the way, I'm going off further. All of this isn't meant for you, Money Mar. You just kind of made me think about that, because it's going to happen, and I'm not accusing you of this. You're just saying that Trump's going to ban guns more than Biden. I get it, and you can think that. Well, I think you're wrong. But there's going to be someone that comes in here. I don't want to pick on you. Let me put someone else up here, because I'm really not trying to go off on one person this much. It just sparked my interest. Look, I get it. You think Biden's better on guns than Trump. That's fine. But I'm telling you guys the truth. There are going to be no more gun videos if all this stuff goes through. How many of you guys are going to be able to hold on to all your guns and magazines? Now, I know what you're going to say. But 2-way EDU. I'm going to bury it. I'm going to have a boating accident. Okay, fine. I might have a boating accident too, and that's all fine and great because I do actually live right on the water. So it's actually plausible for me to have it. More than most of the you-know-whats that are going to give me that. But am I going to get on here in front of thousands of people without my little postage stamp? Probably not. So regardless of what does happen or doesn't happen, or I will not comply, yeah, that's fine. But I'm not going to be showing them on my YouTube channel anymore at the very least, because Beto O'Rourke will have them all, right? So there you go. All right, I'm just going to take one last look at the comments, and then I am out of here, guys. Thank you, Sergeant Mike. I appreciate it. You know what? Maybe we can, Ozark, and if we could, that would be nice. Yeah, unless you guys want me to have Soros, EV3. It's Soros Show. Welcome to the 2-way EDU channel. I have tax stamps on all 3,000 magazines, and this episode is brought to you by Mark Kelly and George Soros. I mean, maybe, right? Maybe. But the average gun channel is going to be gone out of here. All right. Now, there you go. Money Mar, this is bigger than Trump and Biden. If anything, I'm pro-Trump, but he will be compromised severely. All right. Look, I don't have time to play middle of the road right now, and a lot of these are probably valid points that a lot of you guys are making, okay? For those of you that are new to the channel, I'm just going to end with this. Go back and watch. Like, I'm being serious. I'm not cutting Trump slack on all the bullcrap he's pulled. I'm not. But I think the Harris-Biden administration is much, much worse. We can hopefully get it where there's no longer a two-party system. There's many things we need to work on in this country, but we ain't got that much time right now. There's an election in 4 days. It's too close to call. The president would not be coming to Michigan 4 or 5 times in a week. Barack Hussein Obama and crew would not be coming here tomorrow. if it wasn't too close to call. So many of you guys probably have many valid points. And if we even have any Second Amendment left and we're even allowed to have gun channels after the election, I'd love to talk to you guys about that then, okay? So I seriously mean that, and I will. But right now, I ain't got time for that. There's 4 days, and I've tried to make the contrast clear. So it's been fun hanging out with you guys. Raw Feeding 101 with the Super Chat. Thanks a lot, man. Keep fighting the good fight. And you too, sir. I appreciate it. And if you guys own a dog and you're not going over to his channel, you probably should correct yourself, and your dog will thank you for it. Great channel. I really, really think he's doing the right thing to help a lot of people's dogs live healthier lives, and you should definitely go check it out. And plus, he's a gun guy, and he's my friend, and he's really cool. So I'm out of here, guys. We will talk about this more, and get out and vote, and good luck to you all. All right, thanks for watching, and have a good one.